Good morning, friends. Ann here. Got my cup of coffee, got the Word of God, and today's reading is from Luke chapter 6, verse 35. And friends, before we get there, I've got a question for you. When you think about your enemies and you think what God says about enemies, what comes to mind? For many of us, we think about the hard verses in Luke chapter 6 that Jesus tells us to love our enemies. Friends, it's hard to love your enemies. But did you also know that in that passage, Jesus said something to us about generosity, about giving? If we look at Luke chapter 6, verse 35, it says this, "But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked." Friends, I don't know about you, but loving my enemies is hard enough. And then Jesus is telling us that not only are we to love our enemies, but we are to generously give to our enemies without expecting anything in return, without expecting them to do something that would return the favor, without expecting them to change their behavior first, without expecting them to go through the hoops that we want them to go through so that we have the power and they are under our thumb. Friends, one of the ways that we show who we are to the world is that we give generously. Have you ever thought about the fact that God gave to you when you were His enemy? I mean, when we are in sin, we are enemies of God. We are living in rebellion against God, and we are choosing our own way. But yet, even in our rebellion, even when we were His enemy, He gave to us without reservation. He gave His Son Jesus to us. He gives us grace. He shows us mercy. He provides for us in ways that we don't even have the ability to repay. Friends, when you and I love our enemies, it is a representation of God's love to the world. And even more so when we generously give with a good and cheerful heart to our enemies, it shows how much we recognize the fact that when we were enemies of Christ, that He still loved us enough to give generously. So friends, today, I hope that this word challenges you like it challenges me. And the words that I want to leave with you today are, let your giving overflow with grace for all. Not just for some, not just for the people who can repay you or who will acknowledge you or who love you back. But friends, let your giving overflow with grace for all, including your enemies. Have a good day.